Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Time for some more We the Revolution. Get that cranking for you. There we go. There we go. If the game shows up. Game on vacation? Guess it is on vacation. Something? Nothing? The music stopped. Geez, that was the same amount of load time. Not sure what was up with that, but okay. Ah, it's Commander Hanrod. Good morning. Sasbaja has asked to see you urgently. He must know. He knows nothing. That remains to be seen. Lead the way.
Danton, you traitor! How could you?
Hello, Bosch.
Fidel, thank you for coming at such a short notice. Danton betrayed me. Danton, we used to be allies. I asked for his help, but he never came. You did.
We are friends, Sean.
I must destroy him. Make him pay. We must.
Oi. How do everyone play this? Make sure my wig looks good. Let's go humility. Manipulation. Aggression. Shit. Perfect. So, manipulation's probably not going to work with oversensitive. I got a theory about this. Let me see if the theory is right. It just occurred to me I got nothing to write with on my desk. Well, that's going to be a bit of an issue, is it? 1 second. I'm curious, very curious, that if every time someone's oversensitive, it's blah. Every time someone's withdrawn, it's blah. So I'm gonna manip. Oversensitive is humility. Bullheaded. We had bullheaded with Danton, and I don't remember what I did with Danton to. Was it humility? Let's try humility.
I don't understand. What did they accuse you of? You, of all people, when everyone knows that Paris blooms under your direction.
Apparently, I betrayed France. I am not a saint, I know, but treason? And who is accusing me? That political whore, Danton? I do not know for sure, but I can feel that he was involved in those accusations.
We want to go.
If Danton made this attack, he must have fabricated evidence against you. We need to have something to fight back. What proof of his misdeeds do you have?
I cannot do it anymore. I no longer have the strength to fight it. The whole revolution, the never-ending plots, it is impossible for me to trust anyone. Except you. I do not understand anything anymore.
Once the trial begins, your fate will be set. If there is any evidence for treason, the accused cannot be saved. I can, however, make sure that evidence will never be disclosed. But to do that, I need to have proof of Danton's misdeeds. That is the only way. Where do you keep it, Jean? Jean, listen to the voice of reason. Every minute brings you closer to death, and there is nothing you can do while imprisoned here. I am offering help. Take it.
Really? You will help me? I did something horrible in the past. Someone forced me to do it, and now I am filled with regrets. I will owe you an enormous debt. All proof against Danton is hidden in a safe in my office. Ask my assistant for the key.
Your assistant's just gonna give me the key?
I know what to do with it.
No, thank you. I misjudged you, Fidel. You are a true friend.
Oh, buddy.
Of course, Jean.
You have
Of
no idea.
course.
We're about to take 2 to the gallows. What could have she done? Is that a woman? Hold on. What could have he done? Look at him. It says he's only 44. Man, life has treated him rough. Feels like he's in his 60s, 70s area. But I guess in 1789, if you lived to be 44, this is what you look like. There's nothing like having a little chat with someone at your level. For the bank's director, Bolis Roy could as well be a flea, irritating but harmless, and lacking the resources to seriously oppose him. The judge of the tribunal, however, is another thing entirely. You invited him for a glass of wine and told him that you have taken interest in the poor fellow's situation. Abel de Queen did not care at all until you promised him your lifelong gratitude in a favor. He had a sudden change of heart and agreed to propose the date of the payment. Anything in here? I need to get my common folk up. They're getting kind of a little restless. My revolutionary and aristocrats are doing pretty well. So the common folk, the aristocrats, and my family want this person to go to the gallows. How am I doing on the hierarchy? Oh yeah, baby, I moved up a level. I'm on the same level as Ponch, Elliot, and Henrot. I'm coming after Danton and Renard. Hit your next, buddy. Where was the corpse discovered? How did the student recognize Lord Defort's skull? How did they explain the fact that he was... Oi. Security, if I do death penalty. Common folk love it. Revolutionaries hate it. Aristocrats. You ready to get in some weird shit? Let's do it. It's compiled by Nathan. He is accused of murder and rape. Let's hear him out. Before I just give him to the end, let's see what on. Edmond Mallet, a 44-year-old undertaker working at the Montmartre Cemetery. The Parisian law enforcement authorities know him well. It's not the first time that he is sitting in the dock. Previously, this infamous pervert was sentenced for harassing a young aristocrat. We have also learned from our informants that he sells bodies, as they are especially popular among students of medicine. The administration turned a blind eye because Mallet worked for a beggarly wage and never asked for a raise. He's selling corpses. Who cares? Mallet was accused of murdering and desecrating the remains of Laura Dufart, the daughter of Marquis de Savrac, who has been missing for 2 weeks. The National Guard learned of the case from Jules Marat. No, that guy's Marat, not Marat. A student of the medicine who bought a skull from the Undertaker. What was supposed to be a study aid turned out to be the skull of Marat's closest friend, the missing Lord Dufart. Shocked by his own discovery, he became personally involved in the investigation. He assisted the police to search Mallet's house and was actually the one who found the beheaded corpse of the girl hidden in the woodshed. Later, the father of the murdered Laura testified that she often visited the cemetery. She was visiting the tomb of her cousin, a Swiss Guard officer who died during the siege of the Tuileries in 1792. Turns out that numerous occasions the girl complained about the local undertakers, claiming that they pestered her in an inappropriate manner. One of them supposedly chased her once, but it was hard to establish a punishment for the offender. Her skull. This sounds like a dunk. Uh, 2, 4. So there's 5 things on the board. One of them's a trap. If I believe what I read in the documentation, which I'll look at it again, he was never sentenced for her sexual harassment. Oh, he was. The infamous pervert was sentenced for harassing. So if that's the case, I mean, frequent guests at the cemetery. That's not really any of these, right? Well, we know she frequented the cemetery a lot. Either one of these could be the trap card, and I'll tell you why. In the statement that her father gave, said that she had been pestered and harassed by the Undertakers, which means there's more than one Undertaker. And as it said in the documentation that I poorly read, but it was hard to establish and punish the offender. So we have no idea if it was Edmund who was pestering the victim or not. But it is quite possible he was acquainted with the student because she frequented the cemetery a lot. I'm not too sure which way to go here. I give myself kudos for banging out all the rest of these with no problems. It's easy to see why either one of these could be a trap. Does it ever say that he was acquainted? Her father testified that she often visits the cemetery. So there's no proof that there was acquaintance with the student. So that is the trap card. I figured it out. Let's get into it, shall we? Please introduce yourself. People call me the Night Hag. I didn't ask for your nickname, but your given name and surname. Ah, well, my mum baptized me as Edmund Mallet. You're accused of murdering Marquis de Chevrar's Hector Dufour. I was not expecting it to go that far. You're accused of murdering Marquis de Chevrac, Hector Dufour's daughter, desecrating her remains and selling her skull. How do you plead these charges? The remains were found at the defendant's place. I ain't seen him before. Are you playing that you did not hide them there? Me? No. I didn't hurt her. Why would I hide her body? Sure, someone probably dumped that body as a joke, right? Like, how, like this... Like, I don't understand the line of questioning. Like, how would you know? Like, why would you ask him, did the defendant try to persuade Laura to commit? Like, where's this line of questioning come from? That doesn't make any sense. And to be honest with you, I need to push him to the guillotine. I mean, as a judge, you're not supposed to be like, but I need the favor of the people and the aristocrats and my family. But this line of questioning doesn't make sense. What do you think about the aristocrat? The aristocracy? The pus-filled parasite should be beheaded. That's in fashion now, right? Calling the revolution fashion is an insult to noble movement of the press to... Enough. We all know the nature of the revolution. So the accused would like to kill every member of the aristocracy? Yep. This is a clear motive and conclusive evidence. Female aristocrats included? Oh, no, haha. Them ladies are alright, Monsieur le Judge. We can make use of them. And no ladies are, less shabby. Did the defendant try to persuade Laura Dufrat to commit adultery? You know what they say in the village. If you don't at least whistle at the girlie, she'll be mad at you. But I didn't do nothing more. Speak precisely. Did you call out to her or not? I called something, like, let's go upstairs, sweetheart. But it was just talking. How did the victim react to that? Talking. One time she cursed me all up and like, threw stones at me. I ran through the gate. Made me a bit angry, true. There's your motive. That flesh-eating savage wanted revenge. Is that why you killed her? No. I might be a skirt chaser, but I ain't no killer. So we already know he knew her. How did the remains of Lord Dufrat come to be inside the defendant's woodshed? How should I know? It's hard to ignore obvious conclusions when one finds a decapitated body in a construction used by the defendant. Come on, sir. If I, did this and that, I'd bury her instead of keeping her in a shed. I got keys to the cemetery. I could dump her in a crypt and they never would have found her. Do not listen to his excuse. If he took her to his place to rape and murder her, then he would have hid the body in his shed because it was nearby. How do you respond to that? I didn't kill nobody. Only an ass secures the shed. Anyone could enter and drop Anyone could enter it and drop a deader. That she was lying in my place didn't mean I killed her. If the accused did not kill her, then who did? I don't know. Maybe that student? Shameless rapist. Is this the skull that you sold to Jules Marat? I didn't look at it. I didn't look like that when it took him. What do you mean? Well, it's bleached as white as alabaster, and I don't have time for crap like that. You gotta boil it, let it dry in the sun, boil it again and let it dry, and they don't pay much less for the dirty ones. Then who cleaned the skull? Ask he who bought it, the student I mean. You seem perfectly able to clean bones, given your knowledge of the subject. I used to do it in the past, but like I said, it's not worth it. Where do these freaks come from? My closet. Do you admit to removing the skull of the victim and selling it to Citizen Marat? I didn't remove nothing, and the skull I sold weren't this lady's. So you admit to having desecrated corpses? Yes. I have to, or I couldn't afford neither bread nor water, but it weren't her skull. Whose skull was it? No idea. I take it from random graves from the poorest fellas, only checking if they ain't damaged. Some of the witness. Look, he makes some valid points. The skull is cleaned and bleached and blah blah blah. And he says he doesn't have time to do that. He says that his shed has a simple lock on it that anybody could go into it. And it is true, if he did kill her, he has keys to the cemetery and he could have put her body anywhere. And they probably wouldn't have found it for a very long time. So this is very auspicious. Jules Marat, Monsieur le Judge. What was your relationship with the murdered Laura Default? She was the closest person in the world to me. I have known her my entire life, and the disgusting vagrant, Monsieur le Judge, I loved her. Did she love you back? Unfortunately, she did not, but I am certain she would sooner or later develop feelings for me. I feel like he did it. I feel like he killed her. Because he admits that his love was unrequited. I mean, he could have easily done it. I mean, he's the one that fingered the caretaker, the Undertaker, and all that. I mean, this could just be the easiest setup in the world, a slam dunk. Are you sure that the skull purchased from the accused? How do you describe the relationship? You sure belong to the victim? Absolutely. What gives you confidence in the conviction? Can you prove it? Laura lost her right upper incisor as a child. Unfortunately, it was my fault. That was how I knew it belonged to her. Good Lord. It could be a mere coincidence. Monsieur the Judge, I know what I'm talking about. Everything looks as it should. The jawline, the distance between the eyes. The scoundrel probably raped Laura, killed her, and then took her head off. Did Malel tell you where he found the skull? Yeah, but he lied. He's supposed to dug it up from the old part of the cemetery. When did you notice whose skull was in your possession? Well, only when I started sketching it, did the resemblance strike me. I don't believe he did it. I don't believe he did. It was a missing tooth, not a chipped tooth. So I'm trying to... Look. I don't feel good about this one. Because honestly, I don't think he did it. But you said a chipped tooth. It was a missing tooth. That's two different things. Having a chipped tooth and a missing tooth is... What a 180 I felt. Like when I first read the case notes about raping and discrediting a corpse, like I was very like, slam it, slam it. But now I'm like, after going through the case and the verbal back and forth between the defense, like I honestly don't feel like he did it. But at the same time, like letting him walk would have done more harm than good. So let's go with attached. Wow, that's all the wrong stuff. I wish I remember what I used my last time I had bullheaded, which was just the last time I had one of these. I'm gonna go humility. Future generations will remember that we were not cowards. They will remember us as delivering punishment for hideous crimes. These offenders want to go back to the old ways. They defend them. The old system has to fall. There is no other way. You are the sovereigns now. Um, let's try manip and humil next time those come up. I wonder if someone will buy my head. I don't feel good about that one. I'm not gonna gaslight it. I'm not gonna come off the top rope and be like, yeah, you fuck. I don't feel good about that one. That's the first one I don't feel good about. Let's read together. I need to get my influence of the people up. And that raised it not at all. Good job for me. Are you good now? Well, there's not much I can do about this section. That's about the best I can do, I believe. A perfect intrigue. 2, 4, 6. Beatrice was able to escape the guards and send a message to Marie Pache. She told her that to be a Rue Saint Marie. She told her to be at Rue Saint Marie with money to compensate for the damage done by the relationship. Wes intervened, but Beatrice turned out to be unreasonable. Instead of saving her life and running to the other side of Europe, she remained in Paris to engage in blackmail. She was extorting money from the person she was supposed to love. The entire plan will collapse. She was able to. Marie killed. Twice. The guards found Beatrice's body stabbed by the mayor's daughter. When Marie noticed the guards, she allegedly cried freedom and then cut her on the throat. The situation got out of hand. Information travels quickly, and the mayor is likely to already know what happened to his daughter. That she paid for his sins. Do not feel guilty. Focus on tomorrow's trials. Do not feel guilty. So, is that a success or a failure? Don't know. We shall see. Day 20, Act 1, Liberté. Do I have a full case or just a bunch of small cases? It's Pache. My daughter's dead, I know. She slit her throat because of some girl? I know. All because of you, you bastard. I thought we were friends. I never was your friend, just like Danton. What will happen to me? Confess and you will go free. Refuse to cooperate and you will die at the guillotine. Will any of those options bring back my daughter? I don't think so. Then you can bugger off. The trial will start in a few minutes. You better think this through. I assume we got the documentation out of the safe. For people calling me a bad judge, like I've set more people free than I've killed. Who wants what? The aristocrats want them free, everybody else wants them dead. It's a verdict I can live with. Considering that, so these are both the case files. What is this? For Jean... I forget what's his middle name? Nicholas. For Jean-Nicolas Pache. Gentlemen of the Masons Guild are not willing to listen to your arguments and have suspended their work on the bridge. They will have to be convinced by force. Do it, Pache. Rob will be given in, and you will get your payment. D. Let's get into it, shall we? Compiled by Fabrice. Treason, corruption. The accused who will now stand before us is Jean-Nicolas Pache, the mayor of Paris, suspected of treason through cooperation with hostile powers. He was arrested following the written testimony of Beatrice Caron, daughter of a local cooper? Local cooper? But best known for her connections with the rotten Muscadins. The girl admitted to being an Austrian spy, declared that she obtained information from the defendant himself. Thanks to her knowledge, she was allegedly able to disrupt the everyday lives of Parisians. In exchange for revealing her information to the city authorities, Caron was expelled from France under the penalty of death should she return. The investigation which I carried out... Barrel maker. What's up, big guy? Which I carried out together with Prosecutor Timwell in case that Citizen Pache was following the orders of Caroline Austrian's employers. The girl was responsible for exchanging letters between the two. We were unable to find solid evidence for many of the manor's suspicious acts, but one aspect of the investigation is clear. The delayed construction of the Pont de la Révolution, enemy forces wished to prevent it, as the structure was to unite the French, to become a symbol of the rekindled revolutionary flame. The plotters could also hope to bring a shame upon Rob himself as the originator and supporter of his undertaking. We'll have to go after Rob eventually, since he seems to be at the top of the food chain. The evidence of the conspiracy was discovered in letters that was confiscated during a search of the defendant's office. All of them were signed only with a D, and we have not been able to discern the identity of this mysterious person. We have rejected the most popular suggestion that it was Danton, as it is common knowledge that he and Rob are political allies as well as friends. It's the case file. This is the letter. There's 2 traps. Oh, that was a trap. Hold on, I gotta sneeze real quick. Just give me one quick second. There we go. Sorry that took longer than I expected, but I sneezed. It got a little messy. I had to clean it up. Didn't want you to see me doing that. Alright, let's question this son bitch. For the sake of protocol, please introduce yourself. My name is Jean-Nicolas Pache, and I am the mayor of Paris. I would like to announce that the accusations against me are a result of a conspiracy by this judge. You have taken a bold approach, traitor. We will soon find out who the traitor is. Ask your questions, Fidel. Did you receive all your orders through letters? Stop this slander. If there's a traitor here, it's sitting before me, pretending to be a righteous judge. I will not tolerate this much longer. Testify or go straight to the guillotine. I testify that I have always served France, and then no other country. Then where are the orders and the letters from? I have seen no letters. Do you really think that I would have kept such obvious proof of my guilt if I were a traitor? The defendant is obviously a fool as well as a traitor. And you are even greater fools if you cannot see that someone is creating evidence conspiring against me. Did our enemies wish to bring discredit upon Rob? I have no idea what they could have wanted. Besides, it would be completely irrational to use me as such a deed. Why? Because I have very little power. The only connection between me and Rob was the damn bridge. And as far as I know, this was only one of their many initiatives. That does not prove a thing. If they had wished to discredit Rob, they would have looked for something closer to him. That argument is not entirely convincing. Neither are your ridiculous accusations. Why not find a link between me and Pontius Pilate? You're just speculating. Sister Fidel, you have to. There's something you need to see. Intrigue. Interest. Who's hanging? Show me.
Frederick. My son.
They fucking killed my son. You scumbag, my child. All of you, shut the hell up. Pache, why did you kill my boy? I know nothing about child killing. That's more your style. Why did you do it, Pache? I do not want I'm being accused of now. Of killing my child. I was in a cell all this time. Where did you get the idea I could kill someone outside of it? Lies and humbug. You could have paid someone to commit the murder. Your indictment shows that you are capable of it. Who killed my son, Pache? Probably those who you so treacherously attacked, just as you attacked me. You accuse without evidence. You slander. You got a response. I have more honor than that, and that's why I'm here, defending myself in person. Who's behind this? Tell me immediately, or you will go straight to the scaffold. See, the judge is threatening me with the guillotine for his own gain. This is not a trial. This is a farce. Quiet, child killer. Really? You just showed me that they killed my youngest son. That they hung him in the square. And now you give me this fucking bullshit to deal with? Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. Earning a living stealing from doctors. And make appointments with various physicians. Go to weight rooms, stealing insignificant objects. And he leaves. He sold them. Don't give a shit. Over Mill, as he died after a heavy supper. Then wife thinks that her husband was poisoned by the cooks. A few days prior to his death. Durat was almost drank themselves into a stupor, being in a state of contact. They dug up a fresh grave, dragged out the corpse of a convicted, threw him on the car, and drove around Pierce yelling, "This is what you had me dealing with." Theft. Don't care. You get the fucking guillotine. Don't fucking care. No. Yes. There's no clear answer to that. With whom did the defendant share confidential information with? I sentence the defendant to death. Get him out. You'll meet me in hell? Well, guess what? You could go first, motherfucker. Just drag his ass to the guillotine. You damn right I won't give a fucking speech. I've never seen Carefree before. So withdrawn. My nip. So this is the worst argument you can make. Is a very weak argument. So my choices are a weak argument, a strong argument, and a very strong argument. I doubt Carefree and Careless go hand in hand. And I'm not going trip manipulation. There are no shades of gray to crime, only guilt or innocence. By passing the sentence, we are making our streets safer. I'm not mourning the one being guillotined, but us, the victims. We are not worthy of the freedom if it will let the old system rot and morally poison our country. Fidel's the real traitor. Listen here. Listen here, cocksucker. You killed my kid. You hung my kid. You killed my youngest boy. He had a lifetime ahead of him. Just because your stupid daughter decided to slit her own throat is not my fault. Guess what you get? See you in hell, cocksucker. Where is Bernard? He's hiding somewhere, crying. I don't know what to... Why would you even open your mouth? It is your fault. You gambled with our lives. I tried to save you. We know. Do you really know? Because I can't see anything beyond destruction. Haven't for a long time now. I am truly sorry. We need to sit together. We must. You stay together. I have to take care of our remaining son. He still can't understand why someone wanted his brother dead, though he needs to understand it. Fudge. I'm not too sure what to do about that. He may get injured, but at least we'll stop him from what they're doing. On second thought, I don't want him to be injured. I hate that they're traveling in a pack. That's fucking bullshit. Act 1, Liberté, Day 21. There's just no pleasing these folks. Situation's understandable. Are Are you kidding me? They're just gonna keep traveling in a pack. Fuck it, we're taking a battle to them. Brittany House enables actions against Revolutionary Patrol. I hope my enforcer just murders all these folks. Wow, that was it for day 22? I mean, day 21? It's a 50-50 split. Both as an individual and as a representative of the National Convention, I am deeply saddened by your son's death. Wish to offer my condolences. Maximilian. Have the first condolences arrived yet? One of them authors is surely responsible for the attack of your family. The guard is at your service if you wish to shake down the whole Paris to find those bastards. Only a madman would attack someone's child. And it's times like these we can only entrust ourselves to God's will. We will pray for your family. Who could have done something terrible? I shall meet you soon, my friend. I cannot describe how saddened I am by the hideous crime of your family. Francis is on your side. I got two suspicions who it is. It was either Danton or Rob. It's one of these two motherfuckers. The people are happy. And on that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm winning the stream for the day. What a bombshell. What up and down emotions between cases and personal dealings and family problems. And wow, just wow. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching this live on Twitch, make sure you follow. You can find me on Twitter at haunted_husband, TikTok at hauntedhusband. Man, just what a fucking downer. Until tomorrow, folks.